fill them out and hand them to Liz so that we can ask our panelists some questions. First, I just wanted to introduce our panelists. We have Jane Martinez-Dowling, who is the Executive Director of KIPP Through College and their alumni program for KIPP grads. She went to Georgetown. She also has a certificate from Harvard School of Executive Education and attended Columbia's School of Social Work. Jane. We also have Rebecca Paul, who is a public school teacher at the High School for Business and Enterprise Business and Technology in Brooklyn, and she has her bachelor's and master's from Columbia. We have Denise Qualiping, who has been 19 years at Citibank as an audit manager, and she has her master's in business from Roosevelt University College. So we're going to just open up the discussion a little bit. We had given them some prep questions because we didn't want a lot of dead silence to start, but we wanted to get your feedback. Again, you have those cards. We'd love to hear some of your questions for our panelists. I know that one of the, in the movie, one of the theories that was explored is that it's not necessarily bad neighborhoods that contribute to poorly performing schools, but rather the other way around. Poor performing schools contribute to bad neighborhoods. What are some of your thoughts?
I think it's a combination of both, not just one, solely. That's my thought. You're influenced by your home, and then how you perform at school or how you listen at school. So I actually think it's a combination of both.
Jane, Rebecca?
So before I answer the question, how many of you saw that movie for the first time? So Ruth actually doesn't know this, but the reason I could not speak on a panel after watching that film, and I have seen it many times. As you know, our founders were featured in it, and because it just, for me, this is deeply, deeply personal work. We are very invested in what we do, and we very strongly believe at KIPP and in the network of education reform that although our children, the impact of poverty is severe, and we see a lot of that with the work that we do with kids at the college level, and certainly as they're preparing for college completion, which is the work that we do. But we deeply, deeply believe that in education is the transformative piece for the lives of all of our kids. So we very, very much believe that the schools have the most responsibility in that, and that through transforming schools.
In a severely high poverty school for over a decade now, and plans to continue with this career. I'd love to believe that schools can be transformative. I think they are transformative for individuals, and I have, again, over the course of a decade actually seen that. It's nice when kids come back after they've graduated from college, see where they started, see where they're going. But I do have to say, I grew up, I don't know how many of you are from New York City originally, but I grew up on the Upper West Side, and one of the schools that the DOE has recently phased out, on the grounds of it being failing, which I think is a complicated thing, but that's a separate issue, is Brandeis, which was known as troubled when I went to high school, which is a number of years ago now. It has been known as troubled for decades. It is on West 85th Street between Columbus and Amsterdam. Any of you looking for apartments in that neighborhood in the last 2 decades will know that the neighborhood doesn't have too many problems with poverty. And if you're saying that the schools contribute to poverty, poorly performing schools, I got to say that is not the case there. I think that there may be a more direct relationship in New York City when you're talking about elementary schools, which may be why the film focuses there. Because with elementary schools, if you have a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood, you will have parents who are concerned about the schools, and they will be an active factor in the school. With high schools in New York City, because it's very common for students to travel to high school, as those of you who are from the city know, a school can sit in a community, the community can change up, down, and backwards, and while, again, my building I know is open at least 6 days a week, 50 weeks a year. I know Elizabeth from a community activity which is there till 9 o'clock at night. And I'd love to believe that we are helping to regenerate the neighborhood, but I have to say I'm a little bit dubious.
Oh, thank you.